All right, today on StudyBall, we're taking a look at Jalen Milroe. Now, he is an interesting study because there's obviously a lot to like. He got a big arm, has the ability to make all kinds of different throws. We know about the athleticism that is probably unique in this class, unlike any of these other guys, at least the top number of guys that I broke down. He brings an athleticism that is really, really special. Now, the question becomes, because one of the things we always do with guys at this stage is we say, oh, man, the ceiling is so high. You know, he's a work in progress, which I completely agree that there's a lot of things that he can get better at and improve on. And if he does improve on all those things with the physical skills, he could be really special. But we also have to caution ourselves that we've seen a lot of guys that we say have a high ceiling because of their physical ability that never reach that ceiling. And again, I don't want to say their ceiling because we don't know what their ceiling is, but never reach that ceiling that we place on them simply because of the physical. And so there's a lot of work to be done with these guys to get to that point. But let's use Joe Milton as an example. He was a guy coming out of college that was very raw, and the athleticism and the arm strength were all there. But I didn't really know if he could transfer that to the NFL. He played one game last year, and I thought he played really, really well. A lot of those things that were issues in college and in the process, he got better at. And in that one game, he looked the part. So I think that's just a recent example of a guy that is maybe similar to a Jalen Milroe coming out that showed that he can work and improve and get to the point where he can be a player in the National Football League. So that to me is how I see Jalen Milroe. But you pop on some different tapes. I popped on the Vandy tape, and I thought it was really, really good, really impressive with the kind of throws that he made. All right, we're going to take a look at the Tennessee game here, which was, kind of, I think, what we saw for the entirety of the year. And again, why I'm doing these study balls is picking that game kind of in the middle of everything. Not their best game, not their worst game, but who they were from a normal standpoint every single Saturday. And I think this tape gives us an idea of where he's at, what he needs to work on, what he does that's really, really special, and then try to project how he's going to get better and what kind of player he's going to be at the next level. All right, so here we go. As I said, the game against Tennessee. And so has the athleticism. One of the things that I love, and kind of when you watch him, some of the things that it looks to me as if they're kind of telling him which way to read a particular play, maybe start left to right, or start with this particular guy. Maybe in this case, we're starting with this particular guy in here and trying to get this seam route here. And then you would love to see him work out here to the stop off of that. But it's kind of drop back, look inside, and then take off with the athleticism. I think there's a pretty good pocket here if you just kind of step up. And I think there's a shot to the outside, but step up, take off. And then here's the piece, right, is always about the accuracy piece. It doesn't look like a terrible ball right here. Obviously comes out late, good coverage. But the ability to kind of settle in, work through his progressions, and then be accurate with the football are things that I want to see him improve on at the next level. Okay, so again, little things like this. Okay, you're coming out here on the naked. All right, come out here on the naked. This guy is trailing the flat. We always say on naked bootlegs, man, take the flat. Give it a shot. Now, again, I don't know what they're teaching him. We've got our second level throw right here, but anytime you're getting out there in space, I like to just take the easy winner. That's what it's for right here. Kind of passes it up and then has to try to force it in here. And again, you see the ball well behind the receiver on this one when the easy throw is right out there in front of him. Now they had a concept to the right, deep corner and a flat corner. Maybe they tell him, hey, you get out there, take the shot down the field first. But I would have liked to see him there, look down the field, doesn't have it, get back to that flat and take the easy completion. Okay, so again, patience. Okay, you got a little choice route right here. All right, so I'd like to see him stay with it because you see how quickly he gets off it. I think he's got a throw right here, anticipating, being ready for it in the pocket, but he does a nice job here as he comes off of that. He's got a shallow and then an in. So he wants to take off, but really nicely done here. Oh, he starts to take off and then feels it. Love it. Reset and stick your second level throw on there. Really, really well done. Okay, we saw that first one. Drop back, feel a little pressure, take off. Okay, here I like it. Wants to take off, but keeps his eyes down the field, settles back in, and makes a nice throw. And I've talked with a couple of these guys about not necessarily being natural throwers. I don't think Jalen Milroe is a natural thrower. He fights the throwing process sometimes. It's not an easy process for him, and it's one of the reasons why there's inaccuracies. I said the same thing about Will Howard. Really good season, but there's some inaccuracies there that aren't normal. Like it's not just missing a throw here or there, but it's how they miss and how badly they can miss at times. And so you want guys to just get more comfortable, being able to throw with their body, engaging the whole process and not just making throws with their arm. Okay, so here's another one. Come back. Now he does a nice job here. Okay, we've got that same seam route to the stop route. He works through the seam here, gets to the stop, okay? But now, hard and outside, a lot of arm on the throw and missing those throws that, again, are easy completions or that need to be easy completions at the NFL level. Okay, so really well done here. You got the pressure, boom, step up. Okay, step up, kind of settles in, eyes down the field. It's finding that second receiver right here. Love all of this. Now we just got to be accurate with the football. Again, back to the inside, missing it. Nice job, feeling the pressure, stepping up, getting away from it, finding a guy down the field. But none of that matters if we can't finish, if we can't finish with a good, accurate throw. Okay, these are the things you see though. Here, second level, he's got the big arm, nice read, a little one step outside, a little pivot coming here, and then the seam, I guess, up over the top of it, gets the squeeze here. This outside defender kind of holds underneath. Really like it right here. Boom, right on the money, big throw, good read. And you'll see him in the course of a lot of these tapes make a lot of those second level throws. He's got the arm talent without question to be able to make those throws consistently. Now it's about accuracy. It's about decision making. Okay, really like this here. Okay, I always want to know how the guys handle pressure. They're going to bring pressure off this side. They're going to have what we call a little bullets route right here. It's kind of half swing, half flat. See the pressure. Find a way. We got the corner in an off position. Find a way to get it to him quickly. Boom, does that. Nice on the back shoulder. Now I'd like to see it even quicker. I'd like to see, and I always say this with quarterbacks, I don't like to see them set up. When they know they're in a hot situation, I'd rather see them fall away and throw these balls with their body. Better pace on the ball, you can get it out quicker, and you can negotiate the defender that's coming to you as opposed to having to set up and then throw it around that guy. But still, I like the back shoulder throw. If he leads him up the field, it's probably leading into a big hit. Let's go get a completion. Pick up positive play against pressure. Really well done. Just like to see it a little more natural and fluid. And that's another thing that I'm always watching with these quarterbacks is I want to see a quarterback who plays the position athletically. Now, a lot of people see and think athletically, oh, run fast, throw far, avoid all that stuff. That to me is not athleticism. Athleticism is the ability to control the ball with your body, to make fluid throws, to be able to throw around bodies, to be able to get it out when you've got to fall away from a throw. But athleticism to me is the ability to control and use your body to do different things. It's not just having athletic traits, which is strong arms, fast feet, all of that stuff. It's the ability to control and use your body. So there's a lot of guys that have a lot of athletic traits, but don't play necessarily athletically. And so easy, short throws that should be able to be thrown with their bodies, they struggle to do that and to make accurate throws. Nice job right here. He's coming off to this side. I think he thought they were going to bring pressure. This guy falls off, doesn't like it, works back to the backside. Like to see the process. Haven't seen a lot of the process up to this point, a lot of first read throws, but nice job, looking right, doesn't have it, comes back to the angle. Nice job on the angle, lay it out there, pick up a first down. Okay, so the accuracy continues to come up. All right, so again, this could be a fade, could be a back shoulder fade. I'm not really sure what they're doing. The receiver's coming off and looking right at him. But one way or another, this ball either needs to go to the back pylon, or if it's a back shoulder, it needs to stay underneath the DB. And as he comes out and just react, I mean, that's just too easy for the DB. And the way that we're throwing it kind of firm makes you think back shoulder, but a little too far up the field. But you just see accuracy becomes one of the biggest issues with Jaylen. And again, it comes from not being a natural thrower, not being able to engage your body and let your body lead you, but having to make all kinds of different throws with your arm. Got to throw it hard with my arm. Got to throw it with touch with my arm. Got to throw it hard and with touch and try to do both of those with your arm. Really hard thing to do, and what leads to a lot of misses. Handling pressure. I like it. Want to see it here. It looks like an RPO right here. He's able to see the pressure coming off the outside. Reacts to it, boom, gets it out. I don't know if you guys can see it, just watching him throw. I want you to watch how hard he throws the ball. Another thing that I want to see him get better at is the ability to condense the arm, not have to throw it as hard with the arm, and create the power with the core so you don't have to throw everything 100 miles an hour. So you see that at times, like really that arm coming fast forward, to throw some of these passes instead of being able to just change the pace of the ball. And the pace of the ball is all about the ability to create that power with your body, not your arm. Okay, so again here, see him throwing it hard and not the ability to adjust to it. His guy's got his guy beat. Now just lay this ball up. Be able to change the trajectory and the touch of the ball, okay? Nice read. Good job finding that guy with all that space. Now we just got to lay it out there. You throw it hard, you got to be perfect. Throw it hard and you miss by 2 feet, and it's an incompletion. Throw it with touch. Now you lay it out there. Now your receiver has the ability to adjust to the football and make it a catch, okay? So here's pressure again. You're right there. You've already taken this once. Here's your flat. There's the throw. Take it. Get it out right now as this guy's coming free right here. Fall away. Love for him to fall away so that guy can't get in the way of the throw. And we get it out there for a completion. Said we got to turn and run. Now he does a nice job of making a positive, getting the first down, and you see the athleticism come into play. And it's always great. You know, it's nice because it increases the margin of error for a young quarterback. You miss a hot like that, you're not quite ready, you're not quite sure. Boom, now I can turn and run and get a first down so I can create a positive play out of a negative play. But I continue to say that only can happen 4 or 5 times in a game. Throwing the football to win is going to happen 25 to 30 times a game. So we've got to get more comfortable in those situations at being able to play with our mind and our arm and really allow the physical and the feet to be the second part of the process. Okay, so here we're going to run a double seam combination. I want to see the middle safety. Middle safety comes in, stays in the middle of the field. We got to work that 2-on-1. See, stays right there. Here's your opportunity right there for a big play. Sometimes, as I said, it seems he gets stuck on his reads because it's more like, hey, look here first, look here second, as opposed to reading the field. Everything happens faster at the next level. Got to be able to see it, understand what I'm seeing, and get the ball out. There's a touchdown opportunity right there. And he's late getting there. Now I can't pull the trigger because the corner starts to fall off. Then he tries to pull it back and go to the out one, which, okay, you're late and you feel this guy. Good. Now just make this throw. This guy's wide open over here. And we see the accuracy come into play once again. All right, I like the process. I like the process. Coming over here, kind of that same play, flat, hook. Now, I think he's got the hook. Like to see him throw it, but the good part of this is he starts to the right, then he works back all the way here to the left. Like to see the process. There's the hook, right? You see it? I like to stay there. This is one of my problems with pure progression type stuff. You hear me talk about it all the time. Here, then we're going to work back to this on this side. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, no matter what. Okay, so what happens is quarterbacks start to work through things too fast because they're worried about, oh gosh, I got to make sure I get back here on time or whenever that timing is. So I want to move through this really fast. And he comes off of the play too fast, but nice job. Way to work through it. Nice job with his feet, getting his feet set with his eyes, making a nice accurate throw. Okay, another hot situation. Okay, got everybody walked up here, 6 guys. Got to know who your hot is. They're going to motion this back out here, and he's got a 1-step over here. Always have a plan. Always have a plan for pressure. Oh, if they bring everybody, just pop it out to your back. Just pop it out to him right now. Get him the football. This guy's got to come down and cover him, make a positive play. The mental side of it. Okay, so now he takes off running, and this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Yes, he avoids the rush with his athleticism. I get it. But this to me is a loss for us. We've got an opportunity to win right now, yet we're trying to make something happen that we don't have to make happen. And this is where we get caught up sometimes on the athleticism part of it, where there's an easy win right out there in front of you if you've got that pressure plan going in. Okay, I like it. Nice job again. Looks like he's trying to go over here, some kind of a post or something. And then we've got the back coming here. And then we've got this cross or over coming from the backside. Okay, so his receiver gets jammed. Comes down to his back. Maybe there's a shot at his back right here. But instead, he works to this cross. Well done. Another second level throw. Boom. Beating the safety. Enough on the football that he doesn't lead his guy into a big hit. He's able to catch it and protect himself just enough, which is important. So you see some really good throws, some really good second level throws. You see at times his ability to work through and process the information. Again, I think a lot of it is pure progression. So he's being told kind of look here and then look here and then look here. I'm not a fan of that, but I like to see guys be able to work through that process and find an open guy, even though I think you have to think faster than that at the NFL level. Okay, here's another one. Looks like he's starting off to the right-hand side. Looks like he wants this right here. This guy's pushing through, doesn't like that. So now he's going to work all the way back here to this curl swing on the backside. I like it right there. Boom. Nice job, nice throw in between bodies. Like the process. Good things to see, that it's not always just, hey, one read, take off and run, use your athleticism. You see him thinking through the process, making throws, bringing his feet and eyes together. Technique part of it, I think, is so important. Here's another one. I think he's looking inside first, and then he's going to work back to this stop. Doesn't like the inside one. Okay, he's got the back coming here, but you see he's already ready to throw this, even though this guy's outside. Able to work from that seam to the outside piece. Boom, nice throw. Good timing on the money. Nice play. Here we go. Now again, I'd like to see him use touch and not have to drive every throw, but good job. Opening is back here in man-to-man coverage. We've got that quick over again. He missed the one earlier. This time he comes back. Again, you see how low the trajectory is on this football. Okay? Want to know that they have the ability to put something on it when they need it, but I'd like to see more of the touch. Understand that your guys won by 2 yards. Understand there's nobody out in front of it, and now we can lay it out there and make it easier on them just in case we miss. Now, this is a perfect throw. So we're not going to complain about this. It's a perfect throw. It's right on the money. But he was a little bit tighter in coverage the last time, and now he had to put it a little bit further out in front of him with that same power. He missed it. Touch on both of these is going to give your receiver the opportunity to run under it, kind of lead him into open space and make it easier on him on the back end, although that was pretty easy with a perfect throw. All right. So it's like we got deep route here, this flat, and this over. So what I'd really like to see, and you see his eyes start to this side, but then he comes back and tries to find his receiver. What I'd like to see him do, and again, sometimes this is because of pure progression. Take your eyes here, look at him first, then come here, look at him second, then come here, look at him third. I'd like to be able to have him come out here, see the back end coverage. I don't have the post. Now, let's read the flat defender over here so my eyes and feet can stay to where the throw is happening. The throw is going to happen out here by the numbers, between the hash and the numbers at least. So I'd like to see him stay out there. Pure progression says go find your guy. So now he's finding the guy and his feet and eyes are back in here and he's going to try to throw it over here. Let's take a guess where the ball goes. The ball goes back inside and misses to the inside because his feet are not where the throw's happening. Pure progression. Turn and find your guy. I want to say, nope, find the open space. The open space is going to be one of these two guys off of this defender right here. So get your eyes and feet in front of it and process the information. And you see the accuracy once again shows up. And then we're going to finish with one more. Okay, so coming out here, trying to rush it, similar type play, I don't know, stick, choice, seam, hitch. I like to read this outside in, not sure. He's peeking that seam first and then working out here. And you see the ball coming off funny, his feet all over, a bad miss on a hitch route right here. Something he needs to improve on. So you see there on the tape, there's a lot to like when he's processing information and going through things. And then you see the second level tight throws, the arm strength that he has, the mobility when he missed that hot to be able to create something out of nothing and get the first down. But then the decision making, the processing, that part of it. And when I say decision making, that's not just who he's throwing it to, but it's how he's throwing it. It's the timing by which he's throwing different things. It's the ability to see out in front of things and understand, oh, my high-low's over here, keep my eyes over here because this is where the throw needs to go. So those are the things that he needs to improve on from what I saw at the college level, although this wasn't even obviously close to his most impressive tape in terms of making some really good throws down the field. But I thought this showed a little bit more of the waves that you kind of ride with Jalen Milroe at this point in time in his career. A lot of good things. You see the athleticism, you see the arm pop show up on each and every tape. You see the inaccuracies. You see, speeding through things or not necessarily having the perfect plan on a play so we can play slower, and then the ability to change the trajectory on the football. So everything isn't a fastball. Now, this was something about J.J. McCarthy that I looked at last year, was that everything seemed to be a fastball in that Michigan offense. So, as he's going to play a little bit more for Minnesota, something I'm paying attention to as he learned to pace the football, to change the pace of the football for different throws. Something you don't see a lot from Jalen Milroe is a lot of fastballs when he's throwing it. Something to improve on at the next level. So, you can easily see why everybody thinks his ceiling is way up here. I'm always an advocate. We don't know what somebody's ceiling is until they show us what it is. But you see why people say that, because the physical traits are all there, at high levels. Now, it's the other part of playing quarterback, and it's being able to process. It's being able to tie your feet and arm. It's about understanding how to throw a football, becoming more of a natural thrower of the football, the things that he needs to work on. But he is an X card for me in this draft, because A lot of people are going to see the physical and go, man, if we can just, improve these couple little things, which I think he's improved some of that just watching the pro day and, a little bit more fluid than he was in college. So I think he's trying to improve some of those things. But what will he be at the next level? I don't know if any of us really know that, but there is so much to like that you have to believe a team's going to come up and grab him, believing that they can, fix some of those issues he has, couple that with his athleticism, and now he's got a real chance to be a special player at the NFL level.